Welcome to How We Grow, an essential playbook to grow and scale your vacation rental business with advice and insights from the best in the biz, with your host, Lynell Gordon.
So welcome to How We Grow, the Vacation Rental Show. I'm Lynell Gordon, and I have a really special guest here, Jed Stevens. And Jed is a property manager, guys. And Jed, tell me a little bit about your company and what you guys do.
We are based in Kauai, the town of Koloa. So the company is called Koloa Kai. We have about 45 properties under management right now. We started in 2015. We've got a staff of 6 to 7 people. And I run it primarily from my home in Newport Beach. It's been quite the study how to do a lot of things with good systems.
That's great. Now, believe it or not, 45 is around the average property management company size. So if you were going to give advice to property managers who were looking to grow their company, what advice would you give them?
I'd say the most important thing that you can do when you're looking to grow your company is to make sure that your company is under control before you try to start adding on to it. There's a large movement out there. There's a large push to grow your inventory all the time, but people often kind of let their eyes get the better of them and they reach for more than they can grasp. And so what I found is that there's a lot of help in getting your company under control, your SOPs, your process, making sure you know what it is about your company that's working, what you need to work on before you go try to add on more and more inventory. Because what more inventory is going to do is it's going to set up multiples. It's not just multiples of profit, it's also multiples of profit. So if you haven't taken care of your internal housekeeping, so to speak, those profits are going to multiply with the property.
So I have a question for you. Your 45 properties, is that because that's where you want to be? Are you looking to be 3,000 properties? Are you looking to be 100 properties? Where do you want to be?
You know, that's actually changed for us as we've gone on. When we originally started, my goal was to have 45 to 50 properties in 2 or 3 markets on several of the Hawaii islands.
Okay.
So I was shooting for 400 or 500 properties.
Wow.
Well, what I found from doing this and living through COVID and everything like that, where we were shut down for 13 months, was that I probably don't actually have the appetite for that level. And so what we've decided is we are Newport Beach specialists. That's our happy spot. That's our zone. We're now at 45. We're going to grow to somewhere around 60. I always reserve the right to push that up as we get better at what we do. Mm-hmm. But it's our team's concept that we can do 60 properties in our small area with a total market size of about 1,000 properties. We can do that very, very well. We can do that with very high user expectations and reviews, high owner reviews. We can keep people happy and we can do an excellent job at that level. And frankly, because Hawaii is the kind of market it is, we're busy 24/7, 365 days a year. So the returns on that and profits are well within what we need to be satisfied as business owners. And we can take care of our staff and everybody can have just a great life. So for us, we have capped it at that number because we have resolved what it is that we really want out of this. So we want a good life to be a great place that everybody can enjoy and be happy to be a part of.
So you're actually talking a lot about work-life balance here.
Absolutely.
And the amount of time it takes for you to manage what you're managing.
Exactly.
So how long have you been doing this?
We started in 2015, so about 7.5 years.
8 years. So if you look back over those 8 years, what's the one piece of advice that you give to property managers that are looking to grow their business and say, I wished I hadn't done X, or if I had done this, I would do this a little differently. What would you do differently?
We're focused on hiring some key people a little bit earlier on.
Oh, that's a number one, people say.
Always is.
That's a number one, guys. Don't forget that.
Always. Once you know you've got the staff behind you, you've got a team, it becomes a lot more about how to optimize with the team.
Right.
Than it is about how hard can I work? How much can I show that I'm there for 14 hours a day? Really, that you're creating your own prison when you do that. When you bring people in and you bring people on your team, you get them up to speed, you're not only empowering them to be part of a functional group, but you're bringing in other ideas and other concepts, and that's going to invariably help you grow in ways you couldn't even imagine. So I'd say that's probably one of the biggest things. You know, another one was it took us a lot longer to get into the VRMA networking group. And I've learned so much from my contacts and all the people. Yeah. And I did that primarily out of my distaste for the conferences that I went to from my previous career.
Yeah.
Spending all this time at a booth, things like that. I had a really bad taste in my mouth for it, so I delayed it. But I've grown so much more professionally and even some personal growth from having that network interaction.
Let me ask you this. I want you to tell me your favorite guest story or your favorite owner story?
I don't know that I can point to a specific review. I read every review that comes in. And so I know all lists we're hitting that we're missing. I think some of my favorite reviews are the ones where, we recently had somebody who came and stayed and took the trip as a function of a saying goodbye trip to a loved one. So they had a senior member of their family just passed away, and the family came out to honor them. That was really touching because not like we did a whole lot to make that happen, but we provided the platform that now they're going to take that memory forward. That time of letting go and the time of healing together and being in a place that's paradise like Hawaii, and allowing them to have that experience or helping them to have that experience was really active for me.
I think that's beautiful. And guys, I think that as property managers, we should have something in place. Let me tell you why. For this specific event, because if you listen to this podcast, you'll find that as well is a recurring theme that is important to us as property managers. It's very important that those life-changing events, we do well to help them be a part of that. So it'd be great if someone would come up with some ideas for us as property managers. If you have ideas of things that you've done for end-of-life stays for people that are coming, would you email me that so I can put that on one of the podcasts? Or if you've done a really great job of that, would you reach out to me, because I'd love to interview you as well. That really changes our life. It touches our hearts.
Yes.
Built by property managers for property managers. Streamline is a powerful software that gives managers enterprise-level capabilities to drive more revenue and improve operational efficiency. Migrating to Streamline allows property managers to gain functionality while reducing the need for multiple vendors, improving flow by logging into a single system and reducing redundant technology costs. With Streamline, property managers achieve revenue lifts by leveraging our fully fledged communication center, reservations quoting system, revenue management tools, homeowner acquisition CRM, and powerful direct OTA connections. Streamline also has industry-leading trust accounting and report capabilities to give you clarity in an overall company performance. Learn more about Streamline Vacation Rental software at streamlinevrs.com.
What we've done too is we've actually taken a program from an employee that used to work in another company in town that was sold to a big company. And so she didn't want to work for the big company. She came to work for us instead. And one of the things she brought over was this concept of a wow gift. So what we do is we send out a guest survey 2 weeks before the guests come, and we ask specifically, what are you celebrating, and are you bringing kids, and what are their ages? And so what we do with that information, we send out a form, and then it comes in. We've automated the responses to those forms to go to our employees to say, this is an event that qualifies. It might be an anniversary, a birthday, a greeting trip, or something like that. And it allows us to then tailor a small gift or we put into the property when they arrive.
I love
it. It says from the Koloa Kai team, happy anniversary, happy graduation, happy honeymoon, all those kinds of things. And it allows us to both ask the guests what they're there to celebrate, and then to honor that by recognizing that it is something huge. It's the acknowledgement. And so those work their way into our guest reviews. We share every one of those wow reviews that we place. We have our staff take a picture of it, and we include that on owner statements. So on a monthly basis, the owners see how many of our guests that are staying in their property have received a welcome or a wow. It's a really great program.
You know what else that's good for? I mean, I think about it on all levels, because we often don't tout ourselves as much as we should for the things that we do to our owners. Right. They just don't know. Exactly. But doing that type of acknowledgement really lets your owner know that you're doing a really good job for their guest. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'd love that. And
one of the other things we did this past year is we've decided to put every single task that we do, every time we go into a property, we create a task for it. And my staff has direction to every time they enter the property to complete the task, write a summary, and take a photo. Even if it's just, a photo of a shaka in front of their front door, they understand that we were there to take care of something.
Right.
Well, even though we're not billing the owners for those things, we put it on the statement as a cost, and then we take it off the statement as a credit, just to show them we were there. And our owner statements have gone from 5 to 8 pages. So now our standard owner statement is 25 to 30 pages, because it shows all.
Do they get a copy of the pictures?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's part of our invoice, and they get all of that information.
We wrote that about 6 years ago for a company out of Palm Springs with our housekeeping software. That is really
Oh,
important.
it's
It
wonderful.
is. It makes a difference.
And what it does, it helps to give context when you do have to charge them for something.
Absolutely.
They understand, okay, they're not just nickel and diming.
Right.
See, and it turns out about 2/3 of the time we take in a property, we don't charge for. So over 1/3 that we do, they have context there. They understand that we're taking care of the property, and it's a wonderful communication.
I love that story. Alex Risser used to own a company in the Outer Banks, a very large company, and he used to do things like that years ago, where he would put it on and take it off, and he would go. I was like, that's really great. It shows worth.
It does.
And it shows value that you're giving without saying I'm the best carpet manager you see, and it does that.
Exactly. Well, and we actually do for standard inspections. We call it a $15 charge, but it's a $15 takeaway. So it's a net zero. It's probably worth more than $15.
Oh, for sure, the
But-
inspection,
Yeah, but we're telling them, hey, we took time. There's value associated with it. Even if we don't have to come out and tell them there is value associated with this, they get it through the statements. It's been a great work.
I would be interested to see your next 20 properties. How are you choosing them?
So we've decided those next 20, 15 properties that we're at, we've started to take on some larger homes. We started with the condo market because there's a lot of those in
Oh, right.
And so we gained our experience or footing with that market. And in the last year, we've taken on 4 or 5 houses that are more sleeping at 8 to 10 to 12. So 3, 4, 5 bedroom houses down by the water, all of those types of things. And they bring into that a lot more considerations, a lot more stuff has to happen to do that right. So we've spent the last year developing our operations to support that larger house market. And so our goal with this next 15, 20 properties is to focus primarily on bringing in, not necessarily new or nothing's all that new,
Yeah.
but bringing in new to us properties that have that beachfront, single family owned application. So that's where we're hoping to hit roughly 40 condos, 20 homes, and that will round out our portfolio.
So are the larger homes more profitable for you, or are they better inventory for searching online, or why are you choosing that particular type of property?
Mostly because there is a margin thing. The homes have higher margins. They're probably 60% higher margins than the condos,
Okay.
and they're not 60% more work. They are more work, but only if you don't have a good developed process for handling. So
ways.
exactly. So we developed that base. We come up with a property management system to work alongside Breezeway to handle larger home style issues. And now that we're there, we're thinking, okay, that's probably where we're going to focus. That and higher end condos and things like that.
So, Jed, one of the reasons that we started this podcast the way we did is we wanted to create a network of mentors. So if there are people listening and maybe they're looking to start a property management company, or maybe they're at the whatever mark and they'd like to talk to you, would you be willing to talk
Absolutely.
to them? How would they find you? How should they reach out?
Probably the best way is through email, or just go on to koloakai.com and put in a standard contact request form.
What's your email address?
info@koloakai.com.
And how do you spell Koloa?
KOLOAKAI.com.
There you go. Well, guys, thank you so much. I look forward to seeing how you do with your next King Groves.
This episode of How We Grow is brought to you by Streamline. To find out more about how Streamline can help grow your vacation rental business, visit streamlinevrs.com. Make sure to search for How We Grow in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Google Podcasts, or anywhere else podcasts are found, and hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. On behalf of the team here at Inhabit, thanks for listening.